Welcome to the urban jungle, where fresh produce grows in the most unexpected places. From rooftops to windowsills, balconies to back alleys, the concrete landscape is teeming with life. Here, space is a premium, but creativity is limitless. Urban gardening is not just a hobby, it's a lifestyle, transforming our cities into verdant paradises. It's about growing your own food, reducing your carbon footprint, and bringing a slice of nature into your home. Imagine having your own garden in the heart of the city. Starting an urban garden is simpler than you might think. Indeed, all you need to kickstart your green thumb journey are a few essential items: containers, the right kind of soil, and some basic gardening tools. Let's begin with the containers. You don't need to invest in fancy pots. Anything that can hold soil and has good drainage can be a potential home for your plants. Think creatively. Recycled tins, buckets, even old boots can be turned into unique planters. No matter what you use, just remember to make sure there's a way for excess water to escape. Without proper drainage, your plants might end up drowning. Next, let's talk about soil. Not all dirt is created equal, especially when it comes to urban gardening. You'll want to use a potting mix, which is lighter and fluffier than regular garden soil. It's designed to retain moisture and nutrients while still providing excellent drainage. It's also typically sterilized to kill off any potentially harmful bugs or diseases. Once you've got your containers and soil sorted, it's time to equip yourself with some basic gardening tools. A pair of gardening gloves is a must to protect your hands. You'll also need a small trowel for digging and planting, a hand pruner for trimming and shaping, and a watering can or hose with a gentle spray setting. You might also consider getting a soil test kit. It's not a must-have, but it's certainly a nice-to-have. A soil test kit will tell you the pH level of your soil, as well as its nutrient content. This can be incredibly useful in helping you understand what your plants need to thrive. And there you have it. With a handful of containers, some quality potting mix, a few basic tools, and maybe a soil test kit, you're all set to start your urban gardening adventure. Remember, the beauty of urban gardening is its flexibility. There's no one-size-fits-all approach. Experiment, learn, and don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. With these basics, you're ready to embark on your urban gardening journey. Now, what to plant? Choosing the right plants can make all the difference. When it comes to urban gardening, the key is to select plants that thrive in confined spaces. Let's talk about some of the best contenders. First off, herbs. These culinary companions are compact, easy to grow, and can add a punch of flavor to your meals. Think basil, thyme, rosemary, or mint. They love pots and can happily grow on a sunny windowsill or balcony. Plus, these aromatic plants can make your urban space smell like a verdant garden. Next, consider leafy greens: spinach, lettuce, Swiss chard. These plants are not only nutritious but also incredibly space efficient. They grow upwards, not outwards, making them perfect for small spaces. And the best part? You can pick them leaf by leaf, ensuring a continuous supply of fresh greens for your salads and sandwiches. Now let's not forget about small root vegetables. Radishes, carrots, beets. These vibrant veggies are a joy to grow and to eat. They can be grown in deep containers, and they offer the added excitement of unearthing a hidden treasure when it's time to harvest. There's also a special shout-out for dwarf varieties of certain plants. Dwarf tomatoes, dwarf peas, even dwarf fruit trees. These pint-sized plants have been bred to thrive in smaller spaces while still producing a bountiful harvest. Another thing to remember when choosing your plants is to consider their sunlight needs. Most vegetables and herbs love a good 6 to 8 hours of sunlight a day. So, make sure to place your pots in a sunny spot or choose plants that can tolerate a bit of shade if your space gets less light. Finally, think about the seasons. Some plants prefer the cool spring and fall months, like lettuce and spinach, while others love the heat of summer, like tomatoes and peppers. Rotating your plants according to the seasons can keep your garden productive all year round. These plants are not only space efficient, but they're delicious too. They can transform your meals, your space, and even your mood. So, why not give urban gardening a try? With the right plants, you can turn even the smallest nook into a lush green oasis. Space is a luxury in the city, but with a little creativity, you can make the most of what you have. In the urban jungle, the sky is truly the limit. Vertical gardening is your ticket to turning that balcony, terrace, or windowsill into an urban Eden. Think of your space as a three-dimensional canvas and you're the artist. The first stroke, climbing plants, beans, tomatoes, cucumbers, and many others love to reach for the sky. A trellis, a wire grid, or even some string can guide these plants upward, saving you precious ground space. Next, let's talk about hanging pots. Not only are they a fantastic way to add layers of green to your vertical garden, but they also provide an excellent home for plants that enjoy a little extra air circulation. Ferns, ivy, or even strawberries can thrive in these elevated homes, and don't forget to add a pop of color with flowering plants like petunias or begonias. Now let's not overlook wall space. It's not just for decorations and picture frames anymore. Wall-mounted planters can house an array of herbs and leafy greens. Imagine plucking fresh basil or thyme right from your living room wall, or perhaps a salad picked from a vertical pallet garden on your balcony. These setups not only save on floor space but also create a living, breathing piece of art. And remember, maximizing space isn't just about cramming as many plants as possible into every nook and cranny. It's about smart planning. Consider the growth habits and needs of your plants. Some might need more sunlight, while others prefer shade. Organizing your space to cater to these needs will lead to healthier, happier plants. Lastly, don't forget to recycle and reuse. Old ladders, shoe organizers, and even plastic bottles can be turned into unique planters. It's a great way to reduce waste and save money while building your garden. These tips will help you transform even the smallest space into a flourishing garden. So gear up, roll up your sleeves, and let's paint this town green, one small space at a time. A thriving garden requires care and attention, but don't worry, it's easier than you think. Now let's talk about watering techniques. Imagine the roots of your plants as little straws, sucking up the water they need to grow. But just like us, they don't like drinking too much or too little. The secret is balance. Most herbs and vegetables prefer soil that's moist but not waterlogged. A good rule of thumb: stick your finger about an inch into the soil. If it feels dry, it's time to water. Next, let's shine some light on sunlight requirements. Plants are the original solar panels, converting sunlight into energy through a process called photosynthesis. But not all plants need the same amount of sunshine. Leafy greens and herbs can get by with less, while fruiting vegetables like tomatoes and peppers crave more. Aim for a minimum of 6 hours of direct sunlight for most of your plants. And remember, a south-facing window or balcony is a sun lover's paradise. Finally, let's tackle the tiny troublemakers. Pests. The best defense is a good offense. Keep your plants healthy with proper watering and sunlight, and they'll be less likely to fall victim to pests. But if you do spot some unwanted visitors, don't panic. There are plenty of natural solutions. For example, a spray made from a mix of water, dish soap, and a dash of cayenne pepper can deter many common pests. And remember, sometimes pests have natural predators. Ladybugs, for instance, are voracious aphid eaters. So before you reach for a chemical solution, consider a natural one. Now you have the keys to keep your urban garden thriving. Regular watering, adequate sunlight, and proactive pest management are the trifecta of successful care and maintenance. Remember, gardening is a journey. You'll learn more with each passing season and every new plant you grow. With these maintenance tips, your garden will be thriving in no time. And now for the best part, harvesting and using your produce. This is where all your hard work pays off. Picture this: your tiny urban garden is in full bloom, brimming with ripe tomatoes, fragrant herbs, and crisp, leafy greens. It's time to harvest. Begin by picking the ripest fruits or vegetables first, leaving the rest to mature a little longer. Now take your bounty back to the kitchen. The fun doesn't stop at harvesting. Using the fresh produce you've grown in your very own dishes is a truly rewarding experience. Imagine whipping up a pasta sauce with tomatoes from your balcony, or garnishing a salad with herbs from your windowsill. The flavors are incomparable, the satisfaction immense. Incorporating homegrown produce into your meals not only enhances your culinary prowess but also boosts your health and well-being. So, go ahead, reap the fruits of your labor and savor every bite. There's nothing quite like the taste of food you've grown yourself. So there you have it, your guide to urban gardening. We've covered everything from selecting the right containers and soil to choosing the best plants for small spaces. We've discussed space maximizing techniques, care and maintenance, and finally, the joy of harvesting and using your own fresh produce. Remember, urban gardening not only provides fresh food but also improves air quality and reduces your carbon footprint. So why not give it a try? Your urban garden awaits.